Hello, friends. You're invited to live your spirit consciously and authentically. Most people aren't living with intention. They're running old childhood patterns. You may experience fear, stress, anxiety, or even chronic pain that doesn't fully go away. This is where emotional intelligence becomes power and freedom. Welcome to Living Your Spirit with Anthony. In each episode, we explore moving through emotional pain, living more authentically, and stepping outside the old matrix of fear and stepping into conscious living. Hello, friends. What do you think about believing is seeing versus the traditional statement of seeing is believing? Welcome to Freedom Friday, number 5. This is Living Your Spirit with Anthony. And for today's Freedom Friday, I wanted to talk about something that had to do with May, because it just happens to be May the 1st. And do you believe that what you see is there because you believe it? Or do you believe that what you're seeing is because you believed it before it got there? That's a little crazy, right? So there's the saying, seeing is believing. And then there is also the opposite saying, believing is seeing, meaning when you believe in something, you will see it. So you don't actually need to see something to believe in it. Some people agree with that. Some people don't agree with that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about that because it is May 1st, as I said. And we have this thing of full moon in Scorpio. And what does that even mean? And for me as a Taurus, it says you're entering your golden era. And that means career and money, relationships, personal growth, daily life will all see improvements in May of 2026. So I've been living all my life, right? My birthday has always been in May. I've always been a Taurus. And suddenly this year, I'm entering the golden era. Ooh. So I was really excited about that. I thought, wow, it kind of feels like I really might be entering something new, something significant, something different, something more conscious, something more aware, something more fulfilling, more satisfying. If you've listened to previous episodes, the last 6 years since COVID, they've been a little rough. I've had some emotional stuff, some relationship stuff, some chronic pain. I had a surgery, and now it kind of feels like all that is behind me. And in reality, and in time space, it really is behind me. But from a standpoint of renewing, repairing, walking forward, walking into a new chapter, it really does feel like things are changing. So that's why I started thinking this entering your golden era might really be something. And then the other part of me is like, well, if I believe that, then more than likely I will see positive changes that make me feel like this really is a golden era. I really do see changes in my career, my finances, my relationships, my personal growth. So better opportunities, more opportunities to grow wealth, to grow health, to grow career, family, friends, relationships. And that could be friendships, or they could be more intimate or romantic. So do you believe that if you believe, that's what you actually see? Some of my episodes are around law of attraction and manifestation, and that certainly has a lot to do with seeing, but it also has a lot to do with believing. And the understanding is when you believe, you will start to see those things appear. And not just visually. If you're thinking a certain way and you feel a certain way and you see certain things certain ways, then in a lot of cases, you manifest those things into your life. You see them. You believed in them and then you saw them. So I don't know who's a Taurus. I don't know who's a Scorpio. But when it says full moon in Scorpio, it means occurring on May 1st, more specifically. And then the moon signifies a time of shedding the old and a transformation and an alignment with higher consciousness. So that's specifically around the 1st of May. And I have no idea why it's in May, because a true Scorpio is what? November, right? But anyway, for the sake of the internet and the news and the web and AI and what they tell us and what we think and what we believe, we're going into a full moon in Scorpio, and we're also going into a golden era if you are a Taurus. So Tauruses typically represent strength. I don't know where they got patience, because I literally have zero patience for anything. I'm getting a little better at it, but it's never been there, and I don't really feel like it's there now. But steadiness, loyalty, practicality, and you are supposed to start seeing these things pay off in visible ways in 2026. So that's exciting. That's something that I am looking forward to. So what have you done in your life where you believed that you were going to get something or accomplish something or do something, and you actually achieved it? You accomplished it. Maybe it was getting a house. Maybe it was getting a car. Maybe it was getting a partner. Maybe it was getting into a certain college. Maybe it was passing a test or an exam or getting a certification, losing weight, improving your health. Whatever it was, did you believe it? And then did you see it? And then at the same time, when you think about things that you didn't get or you didn't achieve, were you thinking or feeling that you weren't going to achieve them? I'm not going to pass that test. I don't know what's going on. I studied every night for 3 months. And I don't know, something just doesn't feel like I'm going to pass. Did you pass or did you fail? I remember taking an exam and I just knew I was going to pass. I was like, I know I got it. It's easy. I know everything in this book. I was pacing well and I had a lot of time, but I don't know what happened. I lost track of time. And in the last 5 minutes, I wound up with 10 questions, and answering 10 questions in 5 minutes means you get a little stressed. So passing was 450. I got 447. In my mind, I passed. In my mind, I'm certified. In my mind, I will never look at that book and I will never take that certification exam again. That is a little different, right? I got caught up. I lost my mojo, as you might want to call it, and I didn't pass the test. But when it comes down to 3 points on a national exam or an international exam, I don't care about the piece of paper. I passed the test. So think about examples of where you knew something was going to happen. You saw it, you visualized it, you felt it, and it happened. And then think about the times where you saw something happening, you felt it, you knew it, you believed it, and it didn't happen. And then try to think about what was the difference in those cases. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't know. And I think a lot of times we think that we know, And maybe what we're actually thinking or experiencing is something that is subconscious or unconscious. And what we're consciously thinking of is not really the thing. So maybe the date didn't go well, and we're thinking that it would have gone well, but something in our unconscious or subconscious was telling us this is probably not the person for us, or maybe we shouldn't be in a relationship right now. And then the date really didn't go well. And sometimes when you look back at those types of things, it kind of saves us from doing something that we really don't need to do at this point or time in our lives. And then I guess in those cases, you could say it saves us. So seeing is believing. So if you see something, you believe in it. But, that's getting a little tricky these days. How much can you look at and say that it's actually real or it's actually true? With AI and video and sound, you can't really tell what's real and what's not real. I mean, sometimes it is, but it's getting more and more advanced. It's getting more and more challenging. So can you really say that seeing is believing? I feel like a much better idea and way to live life is say, believing is seeing. If you believe in it, you will probably see it. And then it makes you feel like your beliefs will be something that you can rely on and something that you trust. You believe that you're going to have a good life, or you're going to be healthy, or you're going to be in a good relationship. So those beliefs lead to something good or something better in your life, versus when you're looking at something that's fake or artificial and you're not sure about it, it really has nothing to do with your life. So in those cases, if seeing is believing or not believing, it doesn't really matter, because it's not your specific thought or feeling or intention. It's just something that you happened upon. So try and test it out. Take something and believe in it. Something small. Believe in getting a parking spot right in front of the door. Believe in passing a test or an exam. Believe in getting a date for the prom. Believe in being asked out for a date or on a date. Believe in losing 5 pounds. And then just watch and see what happens. Don't go crazy. Don't overthink it. Don't put in a lot of effort. Just kind of believe that you're going to accomplish this goal, or you're going to see this thing happen, and then see what happens. And make it something that's kind of short, like maybe a week, maximum 30 days. Don't say, I'm going to buy my dream home in 2 years. That's too far out. If you're listening to the podcast today and you want to test this today, then try something that's going to be like a week away or 2 weeks away. Anybody, most people, some people can lose 5 pounds in 2 weeks. Some people find that more challenging. But then what can you do? Can you eat less? Can you exercise more? Can you eat more healthy? Can you skip snacking or skip sugar? And kind of just think about it and believe that you're going to accomplish it without making a whole bunch of rules and setting things up and saying, I'm only going to have this amount of calories, or I'm going to call these 5 people and try to get a date. Just believe in what you want and see how it unfolds. Do you actually get the date? Or maybe you already have a date and you're believing that it's going to go really well. And in most of these cases, I'm asking you to do something that is positive versus I think the date is going to go like hell. Believing that and actually having that happen. That's not fun. If you believe it's going to be hell, then why even bother going on the date? All right, so this one ran a little long, but It is something that I would like for you to test. Let me know what happens. Check the show notes and text the show at fan mail. Did it work? How long did it take? Did you set up something for a week that you believed in? And did the thing that you believed in actually happen? Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Hello, friends. Do you have a question about something you heard in this episode? Or do you have your own personal story that you would like to share with the audience? Please go to the show notes and click on Fan Mail to send me a text message. I'll be sure to feature your question in an upcoming episode or contact you so that you can be a guest. If you would like to join the 5-day Clarity Challenge, please go to CoachAJ.com and click on the pop-up box that shows up as soon as you hit the website. Thanks for listening. We'll connect really soon.